7 machines worshipped as forever. Motorcycles are about to face something no showroom test can replicate. 7 riders will push them across deserts, tundra, and continents bound by a single rule, not one breakdown. Or the legend dies. This is where reputation meets reality, and every spanner in the toolkit matters. Which icon will survive when reliability is the only way home? Every machine in this challenge faces a single, unblinking rule. If it suffers a breakdown that stops it from moving under its own power, and the fix cannot be completed by the rider within 60 minutes, using only the tools and spares they are carrying, it is out. No exceptions for legendary reputations or heroic effort. If a failure demands outside help, a tow, or any major intervention like an engine or gearbox removal, that is a disqualification. Routine maintenance is allowed and expected. Chain adjustments, oil changes, even swapping a clutch cable or a regulator are permitted if the rider can handle them on the roadside in under 60 minutes. Anything more, or any repair that needs a professional workshop, ends the run for that motorcycle. To keep everyone honest, every stop for repairs longer than 10 minutes must be logged with GPS, time-stamped photos, and for more involved fixes, a signed witness form from a neutral party. 60 minutes is the hard line. Cross it, and the legend falls. Before a single wheel turns, each bike will be inspected, measured, and signed off by a lead technician, locking in the baseline that every mile will be judged against. Each motorcycle enters the challenge under the same microscope. The lead technician, credentials pinned to his chest, begins by logging every vehicle identification number and odometer reading. The chain of custody starts here. No ambiguity, no shortcuts. With the bikes cooled to ambient temperature, the inspection checklist expands well beyond a quick glance. Tire tread depths are measured with a digital gauge. DOT codes are recorded for age verification. Valve covers come off, gaskets checked for seepage, and clearances measured with feeler gauges down to the 100th of a millimeter. Brake pads are inspected for thickness, rotors spun for warping, and each bearing is tested for excess play. Charging systems are verified with a multimeter, at idle, and at 3,000 revolutions per minute, while battery voltage and cold cranking amps are logged. Every cable, light, and control is cycled and signed off. Spares declared by the riders, like pre-gapped spark plugs or regulator rectifier units, are photographed, tagged, and logged against each VIN. Only after both technicians sign the digital report does the bike earn its fit for gauntlet stamp. This baseline locks in the condition against which every mile, and every claim of immortality, will be measured. Rider selection is as deliberate as the machines themselves. Each participant brings a track record of mechanical self-sufficiency and miles logged in real-world extremes. Take Rider A, who is entrusted with the SV650, an engine known for its 90-degree V-twin, liquid cooling, and a reputation for shrugging off neglect. The SV650 service manual calls for valve clearance checks every 24,000 kilometers, a figure few rivals match, and its chain-driven cams and fuel injection make it a favorite for both club racers and cross-continent commuters. That kind of reliability is exactly what is needed for a route that demands everything from sea-level humidity to mountain cold, with fuel quality swinging wildly between stops. Alongside, Rider B takes on the classic Kawasaki KZ, a bike whose air-cooled inline-4 and carbureted simplicity have kept it running in courier fleets and police departments for decades. Its parts bin is a living archive. Ignition, charging, and even switchgear often swap across KZ variants, a lifeline for field repairs. The KZ's valve intervals may be shorter than the SV650's, but its accessibility means a competent rider can check clearances or sync carbs under a roadside awning, using the same Haynes procedures riders followed in the late 1970s. Here, mechanical transparency is not nostalgia, it is insurance against the unknown. Each rider and bike pairing is a calculated match of skill, temperament, and machine heritage, ready to face whatever the next 1,000 miles will throw at them. 3 routes, 3 punishing environments, each exposing a different mechanical fault line. On the Alaska to Argentina leg, elevation shifts from sea level to nearly 5,000 meters. Engines struggle for oxygen, And carbureted bikes like the KZ face a mixture that grows 10 to 15% richer with every 1,500 meters climbed. By 3,000 meters, the mixture can be 20 to 30% too rich, risking fouled plugs or oil-washed cylinders. Modern fuel injection, as on the SV650, uses sensors to trim fueling by up to 20%, maintaining the air-fuel ratio from ocean to summit. Yet even EFY has limits. Above 4,000 meters, some ECU units cannot keep up, and rapid altitude drops can throw off calibration. Desert crossings bring a different hazard. Dakar-style stages blast air filters with dust loads exceeding 1,000 micrograms per cubic meter during sandstorms. At rally pace, an air-cooled engine can swallow up to 10 grams of dust every 100 kilometers. Filter service intervals shrink. What lasts 5,000 kilometers on pavement may clog in a day. Foam pre-filters, over-oiling, and roadside cleanings become essential. Carbureted bikes tolerate some filter clogging, but EFI bikes can stumble or cut out if sensors misread airflow or a filter bypasses. Then there is the cold. Siberian routes drop to minus 40 degrees Celsius, halving battery capacity. A battery that starts strong at room temperature can fall below 9 volts at dawn, barely enough for ECU units and pumps. Carbureted bikes might be coaxed to life, but EFI bikes, reliant on stable voltage, can be stranded by a single weak cell. Each environment tests a different system: fuel mixture, filtration, or electrical supply, mapping stress directly onto potential failure. Every rider in the challenge carries the same core diagnostic kit, packed down to what fits in a pannier or tool roll. The backbone is a digital multimeter, essential for checking charging systems that can spell the difference between a quick roadside fix and a show-stopping failure. For a stator check, the leads connect directly to the 3 yellow wires at the regulator plug. With the engine idling, alternating current voltage should read between 18 and 25 volts. At 3,000 revolutions per minute, most healthy systems climb above 50 volts. Anything lower points to a tired stator, a classic weak point on both vintage and modern Japanese bikes. If the numbers fall short, riders know to swap in a spare regulator or stator coil before the next leg, if they have one in their kit. Chain wear is another silent killer on any long trip. Each chain is measured with a simple wear tool or by pulling a ruler from pin to pin. The rule of thumb is this: if a 21-link stretch exceeds 319 millimeters, or if you can pull the chain far enough off the rear sprocket to see daylight, it is time to swap. Chains that pass inspection are still checked for tight spots and kinks, then tensioned to the manufacturer's spec, usually about 25 to 35 millimeters of slack at the tightest point. Too tight, and bearings or seals can fail. Too loose, and the chain risks derailing under power. Riders log each adjustment in a field ledger, capturing date, mileage, and any signs of abnormal wear. Every entry builds a record for the reliability ledger, turning routine checks into hard data. By sticking to these field diagnostics, voltage, chain stretch, and basic wear checks, each rider is equipped to catch most failures before they cost the bike its place in the gauntlet. Every kilometer and every minute spent wrenching is recorded in a single reliability ledger. For each motorcycle, the core metrics are simple and unforgiving: total kilometers covered, number of unplanned stops, and minutes lost to roadside repairs per 1,000 kilometers. Each oil change, chain adjustment, and tire swap is logged, but only unplanned interventions, those not scheduled by the service manual, count against the bike's score. The ledger breaks down every incident by type: electrical, mechanical, fuel-related, or chassis. If a fix takes more than 10 minutes, it is time-stamped, geotagged, and witnessed, creating an auditable trail for every delay. The end result is a transparent record of how far each machine traveled without a breakdown, how many minutes were lost to the unexpected, and what it truly takes to keep a so-called immortal motorcycle moving across continents. Every step of this challenge is open for public audit. Each bike's journey is documented with a digital ledger, odometer photos snapped every 350 miles, GPS logs, and time-stamped repair entries, All raw files are stamped with SHA 256 hashes, locking in the data for anyone to verify. When a repair takes more than 10 minutes, or a part is swapped, a neutral witness signs a form on the spot. At the end of each route, a panel of independent mechanics reviews the logs and evidence within 5 days. No metric can be quietly redefined after the fact. Every minute lost, every adjustment, and every roadside fix is open to scrutiny. The complete data pack, photos, hashes, and incident reports is released for download, inviting anyone to check the numbers and challenge the results. This is reliability, measured in the open, with nothing hidden. Right now, motorcycles are expected to last longer and go farther than ever. Reliability is not just a brag, it is a demand. As riders chase adventure across continents, engineering meets expectation on the open road. The legend lives or dies in the ride, not the brochure. What is your forever machine?